Both Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm get new heroes and maps. Nosgoth feels it's time to get a little bit more competitive. Star Wars The Old Republic gives us a better look at its new expansion, and Dreadnought strikes at Gamescom and breaks down its classes. What's happening, guys? James Blonde here with MMORPgs.com with a fairly beefy weekly recap for MMO news and announcements for the week ending August 10th, 2015. This past week was all about Gamescom, but just before that we see DFO introduce the Fantastic Four, with a PH that is, which is what they call the second awakening for the Male Slayer, coming with the recent launch of Act 5. Level 75 plus characters can proceed with the second awakening, which includes the Omni Blade, the Indra, Blood Evil, and of course the Dark Lord, each of which gives you 4 new skills that you gain every 5 levels, ending with your second awakening skill, which is like an ultimate skill, at level 85. The Omni Blade gets a telekinetic sword type awakening skill that looks awesome. The Indra path calls forth the Thunder God. The Blood Evil path lets the Male Slayer's inner demon take over, kind of get an idea where that's going, and the Dark Lord calls forth the first Soul Bender to empower him for a little while. Each one of the new paths for the Male Slayer seems really epic, and they're now available in-game as of August 4th. Plus, you can look forward to other classes' second awakenings getting released in the game fairly quick. Next up, Perfect World International gives us a quick preview of its upcoming expansion called Riptide, featuring a new in-game dungeon, the Star Chart system, new quests, and a Judgment mode, whatever that might be. In this expansion, warriors travel into the depths and master the art of undersea combat and infiltration with a brand new in-game system. Not a whole lot of information about the individual new features, more of a sneak peek so far, and the new announcement trailer that you see playing here, but you can always keep an eye out at the news section at MMORPgs.com for any upcoming updates on Riptide's features. Also from Perfect World Entertainment, Star Trek Online announced Season 11, New Dawn, which brings a completely new in-game story arc and gameplay updates, including an all-new reputation and the Admiralty system, which is designed to improve in-game progression for all players. Following the epic conclusion of the 5-year Iconian War story arc, New Dawn will rise out of the grim wartime tale to introduce an all-new story focused on rebuilding and hope. With the new Admiralty system, you can take command of your inactive starships to complete assignments and gather rewards while advancing your influence in the Admiralty campaigns. Within this system, each starship is given special traits and stats that must be used to successfully complete the missions. You gotta think about this tactically. Of course, this is only part of the new season, which is expected to launch this fall sometime, and continue into 2016 with add-on content updates. Also last week, it looks like Square Enix and Psyonix are ready to take Nosgoth into competitive gaming with the announcement of the launch of the first season of Nosgoth Leagues starting on October 1st. From there, Nosgoth players will have the opportunity to compete for a top prize of $1,000 each monthly season by participating in ranked matches. Prizes will be awarded to all players who finish a season in Bronze tier or above, with the top 100 players each month receiving a cash reward among plenty of other in-game items as well. So, the prize pool isn't quite on the Dota 2 levels just yet, by all means, but if you're already playing ranked matches in Nosgoth, this could be an easy way to win some monthly cash on the side. So now onto the news from Gamescom, starting with plenty of news from Trion Worlds and their games. The team on Rift announced Update 3.4, which for the first time since the game's launch introduces a brand new calling, the Primalist. This will launch with 6 souls and bring in a slew of new content, including an all-new Plain-Touched Wilds Expedition Zone, Lord Arak Raid, Razade Canyons Dungeon, and a lot more. Check out the new revealed dev diary you see playing here for plenty more details on that. ArcheAge is in for its biggest update ever. Heroes Awaken, as they call it, will feature significant updates and add fresh new content to the game. We don't have a whole lot of information on this just yet, but the brand new hero system, upgrades to the guild progression system, housing upgrades, and a reborn Diamond Shore offer just a small glimpse at the new content coming to this very huge update. We'll definitely look forward to finding out more about that as the details become available. Also, the new Defiance patch will introduce a new race of enemies, the Acidic Shrill, who inhabit Silicon Valley's Arc Falls. We'll also see Supreme Weapons as a feature added in this patch, which is a higher tier of rarity, and it can also be applied to all current and future weapons. And finally, the Trove team announces the upcoming fall update, the Shadow Tower, which introduces the new Lunar Lancer class and in-game content. We've got a new story trailer you see playing here, revealing a teaser for the upcoming update. And exciting news for some of us, we'll get to see Trove launch on Mac around this time as well. From a similar standpoint, Blizzard revealed new content for nearly all of its games this past week. Heroes of the Storm is expanding with the ongoing Eternal Conflict in-game event, with the unveiling of a new Diablo-themed hero and battleground. Kadozim is a versatile melee support hero who can either be a healer or a fighter, and Infernal Shrines is a 3-lane battleground on which teams compete to call for the massive Punisher Demon that hunts down the opposing team's heroes instead of the usual attacking of the opposing base. Besides Kadozim, 2 additional heroes have been announced, Rexxar and Artanis. Along with the StarCraft II Legacy of the Void announcements at Gamescom, Artanis will be made available in Heroes of the Storm for those who purchase or pre-purchase the Legacy of Void expansion, which I'm sure is going to happen regardless. Overwatch also got some attention at Gamescom, as you might expect. Blizzard revealed a new hero and 2 new maps this past week. Lucio, an acclaimed Brazilian musician, supports his teammates by using his musical talents to heal them and boost their speed, which is kind of interesting. The 2 new maps revealed are Numbani, an African city where Omnics and humans live together in peace, and here players escort Doomfist's gauntlet to the Numbani Heritage Museum, or, prevent their opponents from doing so. And the other is Volskaya Industries, a Russian manufacturing center near Siberia, where the opposing teams battle over control of the map by capturing or defending critical objectives. Of course, Blizzard also announced a new expansion for Hearthstone, along with cool news about other titles that I didn't mention here, so check out more details on those at the site posts in the description below. Next up, with the launch of Windows 10, Fable Legends is getting that much closer to beta time, and with that we see a new overview gameplay trailer showcased at Gamescom. In this game, you join a team of cooperative heroes that go out into the world on an adventure and go up against whatever the world throws at you. Well, this time around, you can actually be the villain. And as the villain, you have an entirely new perspective which looks down on the 4 heroes, commanding armies of creatures and setting traps to take out the heroes. Being on Windows 10 gives the developers access to working easily in DirectX 12, which is definitely where the really nice visuals come into play. Check out the What is Fable Legends dev diary at the site posted at MMOHeads.com for a general overview of what to expect. Star Wars The Old Republic showcased new gameplay for its upcoming expansion, Knights of the Fallen Empire, which is set to launch in October. In this expansion, you become the Outlander, a veteran of the Great Galactic War, travel to the outer rim of the galaxy and come face to face with a brand new threat, the Eternal Empire, which quickly reveals themselves as enemies to both the Galactic Republic and the Sith Empire. Choices made by the players in this expansion are going to heavily influence combat encounters and dialogue trees, as the characters and factions will remember them, as well as the outcome of certain missions, so you really got to think about it. Look forward to all this and more starting on October 27th. Hi-Rez Studios also made a big appearance at Gamescom this year, of course showcasing their newly announced title, Paladins, along with Smite on PC and Xbox One. But earlier last week, we got a new sneak peek preview trailer for the completely overhauled Joust map in Smite. The new map is going to be themed around the Chinese pantheon this time around, taking on the Sun Wukong legend and the setting of the Sky Palace, and using that as a foundation for the visuals. It is, in fact, a sneak peek, so we don't have a whole lot to go off of just yet, but if it's anything like what they've done with the new Conquest and Arena maps, it's definitely going to be an awesome upgrade from the old one. And finally, for our last bit of news, the team behind Dreadnought was also at Gamescom this year, and also launched a new gameplay trailer showcasing overviews of each type of ship in the game. You've got the artillery cruiser, which is best to consider as a sniper, effectively taking out enemies from long ranges at the sacrifice of heavy armor, of course. The Corvette, I like the name there, is the smallest and most mobile ship, which is perfect for hit-and-run strikes or scouting. The Destroyer is an all-around attack ship loaded with firepower, making it the ultimate medium-range hunter. The support role is filled nicely with the Tactical Cruiser, who can provide on-the-spot repairs to allies as well as themselves, but still deal the damage if they need to. Finally, the Dreadnought class is the heaviest class in the game that can also bring in the damage, of course. They're really hard to take down, so going at them alone isn't really an option, especially once they've launched a nuke at your ship. The classes in the game seem very rock, paper, scissors from what we can tell from the new trailer here, but I've also played an earlier version of this game at PAX South, and I can tell you, it's a blast. Definitely worth looking forward to. Anyway guys, that's about it for all the major MMO news and announcements for this week. A lot happened last week at Gamescom, and this definitely isn't all of it. There's still plenty more news at the news section at MMOHeads.com. But like always, if you're looking for more information about the news featured in the recap, check the links below for the site post at MMOHeads.com. Feel free to discuss the news in the comments below, or head over to MMOHeads.com/forums. And until next time guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.